About who was involved with this crash, which happened right down the road here. Now, Oregon State Police have not released the identity of the person who was killed, but we do know they were a resident of Elmira. As you can see, dozens and dozens of people march. Right now, we are on East 11th Avenue. John, that's right. We spoke with President of Professional Credit, Scott Purcell. Now, that business is located on the first floor. The Staley fire is now burning about 1,077 acres. That's according to officials with the Northwest Interagency Management Team 9. Now, they say fire crews are doing burnout operations today and tomorrow. Junction City Police confirmed that one person is killed after being hit by this train. Linder says that if the fire department were to find out about a haunted house that has not been permitted or inspected by the fire department, it could be shut down and the organizers could face a civil penalty. So for now, in the Eugene and Springfield area, although the Frituary is very scary, it's also deemed very safe. This one scares me so much. Oh my goodness. So if you want any information about the Frituary, the time and the event times, you can visit our website at nbc16.com. John, back to you. Thank you. Well, I'm here at Cape Arago, and as you can see, it's pretty windy out here. But despite the high wind and surf warnings, people on the South Coast are still finding ways to weather the storm. Well, the minimum wage increase goes into effect this Saturday, July 1st. It sets the minimum wage for the Portland metro area at $11.25, standard counties at $10.25, and smaller rural counties at $10. Police Foundation, a nonprofit that officially took off May of this year, raised the money to buy the equipment. This donation marks their first donation to the Eugene Police Department, and the funds raised comes straight from the Eugene community. Now, the department received 2 thermal imagers, which allows the handlers to locate a heat source. So when they send their canine on a search in the dark, we're told they can locate where a person is and even track warm footprints. Ladder Hall was demolished last year in the wake of the shooting that took the lives of 8 students and their teacher on October 1st, 2015. As the stolen vehicle was located on West Saginaw Road, about 1.5 miles from the scene of the shooting. The investigation will now be turned over to the Lane County Sheriff's Office. We are working to learn more about a deadly officer-involved shooting in Florence. One man was killed after police say he shot at officers during a high-speed chase on Highway 126. They jump. They crawl. It's the Frituary's 3rd year in the Eugene area. General Manager Jubal Nicholas says it's nearly doubled in size.
We work all summer, and like I said, the planning starts the year when we close the door.
He says it takes each actor about 1.5 hours to get fully made up. The makeup team and the design team are constantly thinking of new ideas for a better scare, and the actors are always ready to do what they do best. But something the entire crew is trained for.
We train them to like fire extinguishers and everything like that. I mean, the actors know what to do in case of an emergency.
Every single part of the Frituary is fire treated and emergency prepared.
Fire exits every 50 feet. There's a lot. We don't want anything bad to happen to anybody.
Officials with the Eugene Springfield Fire Department say the Frituary is the only permitted haunted house in the area. And for those planning to set up their own haunted house now for Halloween, they say it's too late.
We're talking dark, scary, disorienting, and if somebody were to get hurt or if something were to happen, that is, it's a tragic situation in the making.
Linder says there are very strict safety precautions that go into planning a haunted house. Regulations that she says the Frituary takes months to prepare for.
So we're in communication with them, what they're planning, what things they're changing, and they're really dialed into the fire code requirements.
So all you have to worry about at the Frituary is what lurks around the corner.
Acts of Kindness on NBC 16 is sponsored by Rice Home Furniture.
Everybody knows they've got something when they come to the bungalow.
Meet Carolyn and Ken Larson, owners of the Bungalow Market. Donation jars line the register counter, which started as just 1 jar 3 years ago.
First Baptist Church was doing a fundraising drive to keep the lands around the church so that they can keep it for future use.
The community donated more than $757 for the cause, and once enough money was raised, the jar was taken off the counter. But the Larsons say the customers weren't finished donating yet.
They said, we want to keep our jar out here.
So the next jar turned into a care fund for their church.
The care fund is for people who are short on their rent or short on food and need money. I mean, it's just there to help people.
But as of recently, a new jar is out for a cause more personal to the Larsons, a jar for one of their employees.
She came with the store. She was on the fixtures and equipment list, I think.
Her name is Elizabeth, but the Larsons call her Liz. She's recently been diagnosed with a rare and progressive disease called moya moya, which reduces blood flow and oxygen to the brain, resulting in temporary or even permanent damage.
She worked right up till she had that first stroke. And then, of course, it hasn't worked since then. But I'll tell you, her job is open if she ever comes back.
As Liz continues her treatment in the hospital, her donation jar remains at the register. More than $500 has been raised for Liz.
It gives me a sense of pride and a sense of joy to see what they do. And when negativity is spread about this neighborhood, it hurts. Because it's not negative. I'm sorry. It's not negative. They're sweet people. They're good and generous people.
But customers to the Bungalow Market say it's the Larsons that stand out in the community.
They're on top of it because it is such a small community, and they know people, and through others they find out who is in need and attempt to help those people. You can always count on them being there for others in this area.
At NBC 16, we do this thing called Acts of Kindness, and we recognize people in the community that are doing really great things. So we want to thank you for everything that you do to make this community so wonderful. So here's one gift card for you guys to go to a nice dinner for yourselves or whatever.
Thank you.
And we're also going to give a donation for Liz too.
Oh,
So thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.